We continue our reading of Lest We Forget, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. Today's reading, April 28. When does the Sabbath begin? Part 1. From even unto even shall ye celebrate your Sabbath. Leviticus 23:32. Unlike the pre-Advent judgment, the central leaders of early Adventism had no dispute with each other on when to begin and end the Sabbath, in spite of the fact that the Seventh-day Baptists, from whom Bates indirectly got the Sabbath, observed it from sunset to sunset. Bates himself argued that it should be kept from 6 p.m. Friday to 6 p.m. Saturday. He put forth that position in his 1846 book on the Sabbath, claiming that history shows that the Jews commenced their day at 6 o'clock in the evening. I don't know what history he was looking at or if he had inferred his conclusion from whatever he was reading, but he was dead wrong. Bates also set forth theoretical reasons for keeping the Sabbath from 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. Put simply, he argued that if everyone honored the Sabbath from sunrise to sunrise or sunset to sunset, then people at different latitudes would be keeping the Sabbath at different times. And God certainly didn't want that. Therefore, he concluded, since sunset was 6 p.m. at the equator year-round, if everyone kept that time, they would all be observing the same Sabbath just as God wanted it. This was no matter of small importance to the good captain. After all, he claimed in 1849, it is just as sinful in the sight of God to willfully reject the Bible light on the commandment of the Sabbath as it would be not to keep it at all. That's a powerful conviction, and Bates was enthusiastically powerful and persistent man when convinced about something. As a result, the church repeatedly got the message that the Sabbath began at 6 p.m. Bates managed to sell his interpretation to nearly all the Sabbatarians, including James and Ellen White. Thus, for 10 years, they and most other Adventists kept the Sabbath wrongly. Now, there is a problem. And what is God's attitude to such a mistake? Did he consign them to the spiritual slammer because they were wrong? Obviously not. There is a wideness in God's mercy. In our sincerity, he accepts us where we are, but he doesn't stop there. He also gently leads in the path of truth. This concludes our reading today of Lest We Forget.